Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Madison Rich, and this is UCC Talk 24. We're all about this UCC, public and private rights, and giving the people knowledge to enrich themselves. So basically, we're going to get into today what you call a cestui trust. And also take note that there are many types of trusts, right? Each having its own different types of uses. Okay. Now the rich and the elite have gotten pretty rich and wealthy off of trust entities. It is very powerful. They say that the government, well, I ain't gonna say they say, but it has been proven the government has created a cestui trust, right, at your birth and the registration of your body, right, in the public registry, which is the Department of Commerce. Okay. So basically, we're going to get into the meaning of a cestui trust. The cestui is the person for whose benefit, use, the trust is created. Any such person is, unless restricted by the trust instrument, fully entitled to the equitable interests such as annual rents, produce interest, as opposed to the legal ones such as any capital gain of the property forming the trust assets. Two subsets, B and C, can exist. If land is granted to or held by A for the use of B and trust for his life, with remainder to C, when B dies, A is the trustee, B is cestui use, and C is the cestui trust. Often B and C will be the same person, so if the two law French terms become synonyms, the duration for life is not essential. It can be for a term of years, shorter time, or for another living person's life as main lawful examples, as those terms are dated and historic, though not entirely obsolete among some of the judiciary and book writers. The terms beneficiary, where a substinction is made, initial beneficiary and remainder are current in general trust law. Okay, you see what a cestui trust is. Cestui is the person for whose benefit use the trust is created. So that trust was created at your birth. It was created for your benefit, right? And the Federal Reserve are basically the trustees of this cestui trust. Okay. That's why that birth certificate has a dollar value attached to it. They open up different types of bonds as soon as that birth certificate was registered in the state registry, which is the Commerce Department. Okay. So one thing our people have to realize and learn about fictitious entities. Because that's what they created at your birth. They created an unincorporated corporation, right? The Strawman, the all caps name, which is a representation of the fictitious entity, and that's all the trust basically is. It's a fictitious entity. It has terms and conditions that it operates. All right. Some people create trust just to pay their bills. You understand? There are many types of trust. Alright, so I'm going to be leaving a link in the description for Ink Authority. Okay? And I'm going to take you to Ink Authority. Because we're all about action and putting stuff into action here on this channel. Alright, so anyway. So what you got to realize, anytime you open up a corporation or entity, right, they have to have somebody that you call a guarantor, right? So they can make a guarantee that bills the debts of the fictitious entity should be discharged, right, when appropriate. Okay. So the rich have got rich for many centuries off a trust. Okay. So there was already a trust, right? And basically, when you open up corporations, right, your social security number, right, is tied to these accounts. So your straw man is already the guarantor for any corporation that you open, and you can decide to open up your corporation with a monetary value at your discretion. You understand? So anyway, I'm gonna give y'all a little nugget. The way the rich get rich, this is something that I found out that I didn't even know, is that they get rich, right? We just talked about trust. This is what they get rich off of. Because a lot of people don't even know that life insurance is basically a trust. They basically hold your money, right? They're the trustees to your funds. They hold the money for the benefit use for another, which is you. Okay. And people don't even know that, you know, if you have been studying the UCC for a little while, then you would understand that contracts have face value to it. Okay. And when you create a life insurance policy, or when insurers do, right, it has a face value attached to it. So automatically from the date of creation, you have just created a debt, right, to the insurance company and an asset to you. But the only thing is, in this situation, when you create a policy, they create the roles. You understand? They create the roles in the trust. They make it almost like your debt and their asset, because you don't really get to use the money unless they see fit. Unless you learn how to perfect your security interest in the life insurance policy. You understand? And just to give you guys a little nugget, one way you can secure interest in a life insurance policy is to ask your insurance provider to put you on the policy as a sole loss payee, or the beneficiary put them down as a sole loss payee to the policy. Okay, so you can perfect your security interest. But you need to check the state jurisdictions on how to perfect your security interest in the policy, so you can access more of the funds in the policy. Okay? That's why a lot of times you notice if the insurance companies ask you for a term life insurance policy, I know I wouldn't take it. Statutory law. Okay? You have those options. Right? Me personally, I like to keep my information in the private. So anyway, you have 10 family members. First they open up the trust, then they go to the insurance provider. Right? They each get $1 million insurance policy. So now they have $10 million $10 million face value, right, inside of the policy, right, that they have created through a contract with the insurance company, right? So now once they have created a security interest in the insurance policy, by asking the insurance policy provider to put them down, or the beneficiary down, on the insurance policy as a sole loss payee. Let me say that again: a sole loss payee inside of the policy, right, that they have created through a contract with the insurance company, right? So So now, once they have created a security interest in the insurance policy by asking the insurance policy provider to put them down, or the beneficiary down, on the insurance policy as a sole loss payee. Let me say that again: a sole loss payee. Asking your provider to put the beneficiary down as a sole loss payee perfects the security interest in the property of the trust. You understand? So you have 10 family members that have just created $10 million in value, which is the asset, under a trust. So they basically have their own bank. They don't have to go to anybody to get a loan, right? They already have beneficial use of their own property. So you can definitely can basically start putting this stuff into action, right? Because you literally could be a millionaire by tomorrow. Excuse me. I'll say next week. I'll say tomorrow. I'll say tomorrow because you basically can shop whole life insurance policy contracts, right? Excuse me, search for insurance providers, right? Right, and put it into play for $1 million life insurance policy, right? Open up your trust first after you shop your policies around, right? First, and before you decide, you open up your trust, okay? Pick the best insurance provider, right? And when they ask you the question, who is the beneficiary, you put the newly created trust down as the beneficiary. But first, you're going to have to apply for a tax ID number to the IRS for the trust, so you can give it to the insurance provider. So you have a record of who the beneficiary to the proceeds of the insurance contract. You understand? But there's certain terms and conditions that you have to ask your insurance provider to maximize a benefit. But we are giving out consultation. Okay, we're gonna leave a number in the description, and also an email address. We charge $50 per hour for consultation, right, related to this information, right? But we do not give out legal advice. You should go to a professional, right, if you have some doubts or concerns, right, when it comes to this information. Okay, so we just basically gave you a nice little jewel on how to become a millionaire by tomorrow, because contracts have a asset, and this is what the rich have figured out. All right, contracts have values attached to them. That's what these are. These policies have face value to them. Okay. This is something you guys need to look up or figure it out. All right, contracts have values attached to them. That's what these are. These policies have face value to them. Okay. This is something you guys need to look up. Okay, so I'm basically gonna leave a link to basically this site right here, because they have cheap filing fees, right? As you see, compared to LegalZoom, you see what the prices are, right? So you start your business for free. I think it might be a small charge, okay, and they give you the free registered agent, right, to act on your behalf, right? And they have other resources that you can use. Logo, everything you need to basically run a business, right, is right here. Okay. So you want to decide to open up a trust, and then open up an insurance policy inside the trust, right, for $1 million, or maybe even $500,000, or even $100,000. Okay, it doesn't have to necessarily be that exorbitant of an amount. All right, okay. So you can get all these services on the site, man. I incorporated my business on the site, right? It's very helpful. So you get your logo, paywall services, taxes, trademarks, websites. So you're gonna need all this stuff when starting a business. Okay, licensing, business plans, business funding, business credit, business compliance, accounting. Okay. So you definitely should look this up. You guys need to take action on this information, because soon we're going to be basically giving this information out in classes. Okay, so you guys need to get this this information and use it while you can. You will see a free 24-hour express processing, a $49 value. Okay, it's gonna be real helpful in creating your business, because a lot of people don't even know where to start when they're registering their business. And just like when they register your birth certificate in a certain jurisdiction, is like that. Also like that with a corporation. It's the same process. Wherever the business is registered is under that nationality that the flag is registered in. Okay. So just keep that in mind when it comes to corporate jurisdictions when you're incorporating your business. Okay. But you can create a value for your business tomorrow. Okay. You gotta put this stuff into action. A lot of people watch and try to learn stuff in the UCC, but they don't put the stuff into action. The stuff is right here in front of your face. Okay? I basically just told you what an insurance policy is. It's irrevocable, non-amendable trust. Non-amendable. You can't change the terms and conditions. Okay? This is very powerful information. But the first thing I would do before you even buy a life insurance policy, you must first get everything set up. Alright? So you can have that policy inside your trust, right? Or your business. Okay? This is something you guys gotta look at. You can literally become a millionaire by tomorrow, like no gimmicks. This is not clickbait. Like just with those two actions right there. Okay? We create the trust document, and we can help you with consultation when it comes to that. Okay? You get the trust document and file it. Get your tax ID number. Okay? You get a bank account with that tax ID number. And then you shop around for a whole life insurance policy or a universal life insurance policy, right? You search for a life insurance policy that's up to $1 million if you can, 500,000, 250,000, 100,000, whatever your heart desires. You can go get that money tomorrow. You understand? If you implement this information, there should be no reason, okay, that you should be complaining about being in the situation that you're in. Okay? It don't take a lot of money. It is basically told you it's almost doggone free to start your fictitious entity, which is the LLC, an S Corp, a C Corp, right? A partnership, or a trust. Okay? So there's many types of different types of fictitious entities with different functions, and operations for different situations. You understand? So that is a nice strategy that you guys need to look at. This is how the rich get rich. This is what the Rothschilds do. They operate off of trust, but their trusts are game tight. They probably had a lot of lawyers write those trusts up. You know, they run on for hundreds of years. You know, almost forever, right? To the world ends. That's how long these trusts last. Okay, so that's something that you guys need to look into. If you have any problems, right, or questions when it comes to incorporating your business, you can drop us an email, right, or a text. We left a number, right? If you have any questions, like you didn't call them to put your order in. You just basically have to answer some questions, right, before you incorporate or start your trust. And also, one thing to know. So the whole thing is knowing how to create debt so you can use that debt for your benefit. Use that debt to get a liability, which can bring income and cash flow. Okay, so one thing when it comes to value, a lot of people don't know trademarks have value. You can literally create your own trademark and add a dollar of value to your trademark and your logos. Okay, so that's something you look at also. And even if your websites have a dollar value, right? Especially if you have it copyrighted, right? You can make a claim on the site if it's bringing in a certain amount of income. Understand? That's called an intangible asset. Okay, so that's something you guys need to look into. I just basically gauge you guys mean value. All right, so if you have got value out of this video, please like and subscribe, right? And wait for more videos because we have a lot of stuff coming up. All right, we're gonna show you how to implement the process and put the stuff into action. We got some great stuff coming up, guys. I just basically gave y'all big game when it comes to trust. But this is something that you guys got to study. Look it up yourself. Like I said, we don't give out legal advice. We just give you education on our journeys through this UCC maze. Okay, UCC maze. Okay. So that's something that you need to learn. This is how the rich have been getting rich and the wealthy have been getting wealthy. That is off of life insurance trust. Okay, so stay tuned for more videos. This is Madison Rich, and this is UCC Talk 24. Stay tuned for more videos. Holla.